Is one of the topics of today how WWE has decided that the best way to showcase the evolution of the women's roster is by putting all of them in a battle royal?
Oh yeah, including like all these returning superstars. Oh,
Wait,
fucking...
isn't this just the same battle royal you had at WrestleMania?
Why are you putting all the SmackDown women on it and not giving them match?
Look, this time we didn't associate it with a very problematic woman from our past. It's completely different.
No, we're just holding it after we have a pay-per-view in a very problematic country.
What are you talking about? I thought that was taking place from parts unknown now.
There just happened to be a lot of Saudis in the crowd.
Welcome to Fight Boys, ladies and gentlemen, the weekly show about professional and not so professional wrestling. I'm your host, Scotty Moore.
I am the holder of the WeBR, the Dylan.
The WeBR.
Yes, this is Blake.
Blake. Yes.
Oh, hi, this is Blake.
This is Blake. Yeah, turn it on and turn it off again. Call me back if not work.
As an IT guy, that's offensive.
That's my people's words. You can't use anything else.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
I'm starting to think WWE is like going through its midlife crisis right now because they are just fucking doing whatever. Like, usually you can see... Usually storylines take place violently slow or rapidly fast, and now they're just kind of throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. They're like, I know the Dogs of War thing's really getting over. I fucking break them up, because McIntyre needs a push. Oh, really? Who does the Bar need? Put the Big Show with them. Okay, cool. Why not?
Also, put the belts on them, because it's an anniversary episode. We have to have a title change, and... I don't think the U.S. title is even a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Where even is that thing? Huh? It's gone.
I literally don't know who the current U.S. champion is.
It's still Shinsuke, isn't it?
See, I fucking couldn't even remember that.
Oh, see, that's disappointing.
That's disappointing when it's like Shinsuke Nakamura, the man who fought over many months to try to win the WWE title, is now oh yeah, he's that thing.
To be fair, now that you reminded me, Knock America is by far the most like simultaneously great yet racially insensitive thing WWE has done in the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Other than running a show in Saudi Arabia. Ooh.
Ouch. Oof.
But yeah,
owie.
I think we've talked about it on the show before, but the U.S. title is always the title where I'm like, wait a minute, who has that? Does Kofi have that now? No, Kofi doesn't have it anymore. Mm-hmm. Wait, who was it now? Does Cody Rhodes have the U.S. title? Oh, wait, not our U.S. title. Hold on.
His looks better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his looks awesome. And then the one WWE has looked like they had it designed at a tattoo shop in Orlando, Florida.
Like it's gonna be featured on one of those we gotta cover up your old tattoo shows.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they cover it up.
WWE used to have one of those.
They cover it up with the New Japan belt. Like, they're just like, this belt doesn't work. Oh, really? We've got a perfect design to put over it. And then they put the New Japan US title over it.
The WWE US title, like the faceplate of that looks like a belt buckle. Like, you could easily see that being like a redneck's belt buckle.
Oh,
like
yeah.
with the flag and everything.
As me and Blake are officially the redneck correspondents for this show, we can say, yes, absolutely, you're correct. It's like WWE
goes to Walmart tomorrow, sees that in the belt buckle section. Son of a bitch.
It's like WWE doesn't want to focus on adding like more things to a belt. They're like, all right, this is the world title. What do we do? Put the WWE logo. Anything else? Nah. This is the US title. What do we put on it? The fucking flag. What else?
No.
You're good. No, you're good.
This is the Intercontinental Championship. What do we do? Put a globe.
Yeah. What do we do? White. What does that mean? White. You can figure it out.
To be fair, that was Cody's decision.
Yeah. And it was probably the best decision for that belt in a very long time.
See, it was from a aesthetic standpoint, but see, from like a quality standpoint, I always associate really great Intercontinental Championship matches with the Oval Belt.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Benoit and Jericho and RVD and Jeff Hardy held that belt and did ladder matches and dumb shit and like had wars over that Intercontinental Championship. There hasn't been like a really well, no, there was Ambrose versus Owens. But other than that, I can't think of like a white belt Intercontinental Championship feud. Maybe Miz Ziggler career versus belt. That was one match more than a feud, but like you don't really like associate it with like oh yeah, like so and so held that version of the belt. That's why it's prestigious.
I mean, Daniel Bryan in that if Daniel Bryan did not get almost a career-threatening injury, I feel like him versus Ziggler was a very good feud for it, but of course, we would never know what happened.
I completely forgot that Seth was the Intercontinental Champ right now.
Yeah, that's what happens when no one defends their single belts because they're in 6-man tag matches every week. By tag matches, I mean the same tag match, except with progressively more like group dissension. And by group dissension, I mean 1 week Braun decided to power slam Ziggy, and then like Drew decided to Claymore kick Braun. And then Dean decided he'd had enough of Seth Rollins' shit.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of like around the time that the Shield ended the first time, except just not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, with me, I
blame Roman Reigns.
Yeah, no, the fucking Claymore kick is still my favorite because it looks like someone fired a Scottish man out of a cannon and he just had a leg extended.
I mean,
you heard the story you told on Table for Three for why like where he started that move from, right? No, he had a match against Ryback. And he was going to hit him with a big boot out of the corner, but it was back in the 3MB days where he had those leather pants on.
Oh yeah.
And like he couldn't get the kick out, so he ended up leaving his feet for it when he did it. And he was just like, "That's a good move. I'm gonna do that now." By the way, the athleticism you need to just lift both feet off the ground, like you're just like jumping. Like every time he does that move, I'm just like the physics and the athleticism and the murder. It looks like murder.
And also Claymores, if you swing them hard enough, it can decapitate several people at once.
See, here's the thing. Whenever he did it the first time, I was like, oh, like the explosive.
Yeah. Speaking of
forgetting that he was Scottish.
Yeah. Speaking
that's his sword.
Speaking of killing things, WWE is just slowly killing The Undertaker 1 week at a time. Because can we just say, Undertaker's the fucking heel in that rivalry right now, and no one's acknowledging it?
I have to applaud their ingenuity because they actually have found a way to kill what is dead.
Yeah. Like, did you see the promo this week that I'm fairly sure they just stole from a 1999 episode of Raw and threw it up?
Listen,
I didn't.
that was so over the top. It was actually that was worth it. The bit at the end where the Undertaker where they were like, you know how we should end this historic episode by having the Undertaker shill a pay-per-view in a political turmoil situation country.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna age great.
Oh no, I was talking about the one on Raw. Where Mayor Kane was like, hey, I can't make it for Raw, so can we just tape some spooky backstage shit in the same place where they filmed Weird Science?
I was expecting Mick Foley dressed as Mankind to show up and just be like, oh, you guys live here too?
Yeah. Well, no, my dad was pumped because my dad was just like, oh, it's Bray. Bray's finally coming back with this new character he's working on. And then Taker walks out and me and him both in unison were like, ah, fuck. Damn it.
By the way, I can't wait for it to be like, oh man, this is a new character that Bray's been working on. It's just the same Bray.
It's just Bray again. And see, like, the thing with the SmackDown promo for Taker was I yawned and it was over.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Wait, was Undertaker just out? Oh no, I must have missed something good. What was... Oh.
By the way, I would like to
chilled.
point out that despite the fact that we're all high on Triple H and all the good things he does, like the ego to be like, okay, what can I do? Well, I can be the face of NXT, and then I'm gonna be in a feud with the Undertaker and reform DX. And then I'm gonna bring back Evolution on SmackDown that same fucking week.
Weak.
Because my ego hasn't quite matched the size of my giant cue ball head.
Was it What Culture? I think it was What Culture that released a video that just said Triple H is the most confusing character on TV today, because they're just like, if you tune into NXT, you see the creator Triple H, but then if you turn into Raw, you see the husband of Stephanie McMahon Triple H, or you may see leather jacket Triple H who's ready to go out and fight. Oh wait, but now we're also gonna have DX Triple H. Oh wait, now on SmackDown there's Evolution Triple H.
So wait, what you're saying is at WrestleMania this year, all of those Triple H's are gonna have a match.
Yes.
Listen, it's okay. We got SmackDown Batista, which is also Zero Fucks Batista, aka the best Batista.
Was the best thing about that entire show.
Keep it in your pants.
Keep your pants, Rick. Oh, family show.
Dave Batista hijacked a segment on the 1000th episode of SmackDown. The true SmackDown of that was the sound of his brass balls, giant as they were, hitting the canvas during that segment.
My favorite part about that segment and about the keep it in your pants part, and fellow wrestling podcasters Tights and Fights pointed this out on their Twitter account, is after he makes the joke, you see Triple H walk over to Randy and whisper in his ear as if he had to explain the joke to Randy Orton.
If you see Randy,
do you remember back when Rick would walk around the locker room without pants?
Well, the way that I see it is, if you kind of listen, you'll see Randy mouth, because he missed it. I don't know what he was doing, but he missed it, because Triple H goes over and you see Randy, he kind of mouths, what he said, what? And that's when he whispers in his ear, and then Randy just loses it.
He's talking about you putting your dick on a writer's shoulder. Oh, that's great.
By the way, I would also like to point out that SmackDown is also where we decided that the ruthless aggression is so alive that we're gonna kindle the flames for a Batista versus Triple H match in 2018.
Well, that's for their next Saudi Arabia show.
Mm-hmm.
They're just slowly.
I'm telling you, February. I swear, if World War III doesn't start, and if we all don't die of a nuclear holocaust, February is when the WWE Family Jewels is gonna happen. And by God, if it's not gonna be the most mediocre pay-per-view to ever hit the Middle East.
Which, by the way, I don't know if you've seen the latest developmentally unstable.
Oh, I did. I appreciated the shout out. I actually added that to my timeline. That's how proud I was of that. Everything else I keep hidden. No one knows I'm actually associated with this show. It's like this is my sex dungeon where it's just like, oh no, don't tell anybody how I live. Don't tell anybody I'm on this wrestling podcast with this actor who's exclusively cast in mentally challenged people roles and the Alabama equivalent of Russell Brand. Just don't tell people that's how I live my life.
So anyways, developmentally unstable, check it out on YouTube. We're doing Family Jewels. Dylan just went round to Rousey on our ass. He was just like, let me just destroy these two pukes for a few seconds.
Yes, but I did that without a script and having to awkwardly pause 5 times.
Yeah. I mean, it was a very good line, and I definitely think it was scripted, but I wonder if Nikki knew, though, because I always kind of wonder about...
No, because for something like that, it's something where the writers write it, and then they go to the Bellas, because the Bellas are cash cows. That sounds offensive. I should probably not have used that. The Bellas are cash talentless hacks, and they have to approve their own
God.
It's less offensive in your eyes.
You're on it tonight, D.
Calling people cat, that's against people from like a feminist standpoint. Like
Yeah.
calling them talentless hacks, that I'm just saying the same things AJ Lee did like 6 years ago. That's fine.
Yeah.
By the way, the Ronda
True to
Rousey
form.
promo is just AJ Lee's promo if it was said by somebody with less promo skill. And that's really it, which is why everybody reacted to it. It was tried and true that like we can roll this back out there. We'll just take someone's original content, have somebody else like, you know, that old meme of, hey, can I like look at your homework? Yeah, just don't make it clear that you copied me. That was that. That was what that was. It was AJ here, Ronda's promo here, the Bella's getting roasted here. That was it.
It's the old like, I made this. You made this? I made this.
I made this.
No. The best way I can describe it is it was Dana Carvey was talking about the fact that he can kind of play drums, and he's like, everyone thinks I'm really good at drums because I'm a comedian that can play drums, so therefore the talent seems a lot better. So it's like that, since Ronda's not that usually good of a promo, the John Cena line was like, everyone was like, oh, fuck! Whereas if AJ had said it, they would just be like, ooh.
Yeah, it's like classic AJ.
Yeah. Also, when did Sasha Banks get injured?
It's been a while.
When she's, like a couple months ago, like before the mixed max challenge. Yeah, it's where we take everybody named Max. It's a bunch of different wrestlers like that. We team them together. We put them in a tournament.
The Mac and Me challenge, the mixed Mac and Me challenge. It's where who can throw a boy in a wheelchair down a fucking cliff the fastest.
It's hosted by Paul Rudd. Good, you guys also know that.
Yep.
But Blake, no, I do not think she even got to wrestle in the mixed match challenge.
Okay, I only got like the first 2 words of that sentence out, and I'm glad you were able to fill in the rest.
Oh yeah, psychic link, baby.
Also, by the way, anyone watching at home on the video stream, I got my new BS wine glass today. I mean, yesterday. Or like 2 days ago.
Hey Blake, use the official term. That's the BS Boozy Sippy Cup.
This is the BS Boozy Sippy Cup because it's just a fucking sippy cup.
There's a fucking plastic lid on it.
It's got a tiny lid. It's a sip. It's a...
So anyways, Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks.
No, everyone was like, Sasha returned.
Dylan's fucking face.
How much you been using the sippy cup, Blake?
Enough.
Uh-huh.
Let me look up if Garbage Boys has been an episode title before, because if not, I think it has, so it may just be like Trash Boys for this episode. But no, someone was like, Sasha Banks returns from injury, at which point I'm like, when the fuck was she injured? Which makes me
hey Scotty, WWE Evolution.
Oh yeah. Well, once it made me sad because Sasha used to be a person where like, why isn't she on Raw? I miss Sasha so much, and now I'm like, wait, what the fuck? She hasn't been here. Oh, okay, whatever. I don't care.
That's the same thing with Bayley, where it's like, oh man, Bayley used to be so cool, and now it's just like, will you and Finn Balor stop beating up fucking like Foxy and the modern day Maharaja? That'd be great.
Yeah. But we did have
really. By the way, I'm really waiting for the Raw writers to make a King and I joke with that team up.
Oh yeah. But no, there was one return that was treated with less fanfare than Sasha, and it was Tamina, who I swear to God, it wasn't till like 4 minutes into the match where Michael Cole was finally like, "Oh yeah, she's returning from an injury. She's been out for like a very long time," and they're like, "Oh yeah, so good."
Yeah, that's essentially that was Michael Cole being like, it's Tamina.
Michael Cole forgetting the women wrestlers in the ring, and he's like, yeah, Nia Jax versus Nia Jax. Wait, that's not right. What the fuck? Who is that? Oh shit, it's Tamina.
There can't be 2 Samoan women here.
Well, see, that's what made me upset, was at the end of the match, Tamina and Nia had a stare down, and Ember's in the middle of them trying to split them up. I was just hoping they would run at each other and smash Ember between their bodies, and then that's the creation of the most terrifying tag team of all time.
Listen, WWE is not here to engage in your weird fetish moves, all right? You're not allowed to live vicariously through Ember Moon, all right, dude? Just, God, keep it in your pants.
I'm sorry.
Keep it, Rick. Keep it in your pants.
I just wish, I just really want two women to run at me and then crush me like in Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze.
Boy, if we didn't go for a while without mentioning that movie again.
I'm just saying, WWE Evolution, you could have Nia and Tamina versus Beth Phoenix and Natalya in a battle of the badasses and see who comes out on top. But no, instead they were like, let's do the same thing we do before every battle royal match, which is have people start throwing people over the ropes, even though it's not a battle royal.
You know, after SmackDown this week, Beth Phoenix might have her hands full soon enough, reclaiming her husband's balls.
Oh yeah, Becky Lynch did in fact take them from him very quickly.
By the way, so that promo was the equivalent of, I don't even know if you remember back when Conor McGregor had 2 UFC championships at once.
Yeah.
And he got on the mic and he was like, I would like to take this opportunity to apologize to absolutely no one. And that was the equivalency of when Becky was like, I don't like me. I love me. I was just like, oh, I was expecting to be like, they like me. But then I was just like, no, this is even better.
Yeah.
Then she told Edge not to break his neck on the way out of the ring. It was baller.
So good.
I'm waiting for next week when she goes to Montreal and says Brett screwed Brett.
Yeah.
Just continue insulting people.
We were watching, and my dad was like, they're trying so hard. The crowd, whole time, she's insulting a Hall of Famer that everyone loves, and they're cheering her for it.
That's right. You tell that white man what's wrong.
You tell that white devil from the Canada.
From the Canada.
It hurts me so badly that they kept her from doing promos for so long.
Yes.
Well, you blame Bucky the Bucktooth fucktard for that.
What?
That's a corny quote right there. I like to keep that one.
Jim, where did you come from?
Yeah.
Jim just showed up. What's up, motherfuckers?
Thank you, fuck you, bye.
Oh, you know who I never say thank you, fuck you, bye to, though? All of our lovely fucking patrons at patreon.com/loadofbs. Ain't no one in this business got a lick of fucking sense except for our patrons. They donate money, they help the show keep going, and then they get access to our Discord. They get shouted out on the show of their choice like the good old American fucktard Ghazi. I just love that every week it gets worse the way we treat Ghazi.
I like how you're just allergic to having patrons.
That's basically what, for a shill master.
You break out an asshole. That's.
Well, for BS, I'm usually very polite to them. I don't know what it is about Fightboy. I'm like, fuck you.
It's the wrestling mentality.
But if you want to also get yelled at, go to patreon.com/loadofbs and donate. Which means, guys, it's now time for, actually, the least successful Dust Watch of all time, which was last week. Because not a single one got liked, nothing got replied to, not shit.
This is a conspiracy.
It's a fucking conspiracy. Should we tweet the kingdom and tell them there's a conspiracy against us by Chuck Taylor to not follow us?
You know what? This sounds terrible, and we'll probably play directly into Ghazi's thing. But Matt Taven seems like the only person on the ROH roster who would actually appreciate what we're doing.
Should we do it then?
Yeah. Screw it. At this point, just be like, hey, At future ROH champion Matt Taven.
Hey, at Matt Taven, at Vinny.
Can you believe this fucktard won't follow us?
No!
I'm sorry, I can't believe I said that.
Do you believe this sexy fucktard won't follow us?
Oh shit, why can I not remember the third member of the kingdom?
TK O'Ryan.
TK O'Ryan. Okay, there we go.
The sassy wild horse. Or what's that? What is it? The sassy pony? Sassy wild horse? I think it's sassy wild horse, TK O'Ryan. I just remember the word sassy's in there because I greatly respected a man that looks like a wet noodle in terms of like body weight, calling himself the sassy anything.
Hey, at Matt Taven, at Vinny, at TKO. We firmly believe there's a hashtag Kingdom Conspiracy against us by Chucky T, refusing to give us a follow. Help us overcome the demons. Hashtag Dustwatch. I know it wouldn't happen, but I would love if, like, next fucking ROH taping, best friends are having a match and then the Kingdom attack them and all of Vinny's balloons just say Dustwatch on them.
At that point, we have to sue them for copyright. Like, I don't know if you...
The best advertising the show ever got, and we're still like, yo, fuck you.
Oh, guys, I'm gonna have to send you a small cease and desist. Yeah, I got on the horn with Pro Wrestling Tees, and yeah, you can't sell that shirt anymore.
Did you guys see my new tights last night? They're orange and black in honor of Gritty, second in command behind our Dark Lord Satan. God bless you, Chuck Taylor.
So sometime, because he's doing 8-mans during the Super Junior Tag League.
Yeah.
So I have a whole bunch of big dust matches, like, you know, piling up that I get to go through. It's good times for me. Even if his hair continues to be somewhat of a disaster.
How many involve the great Roll Tide boy Nick Saban?
Unfortunately, none of them.
Oh no, I do.
Saban's in the Super Junior Tag League with Kushida.
I just love how quickly into segment 2 it takes before Dylan's like, oh thank God, no more WWE. So fucking Tag League's coming up. Let's go.
What up? Tag League.
I
like segment 2 because that means that I can catch up on all my Reddit browsing.
Can we just discuss how fucking hard Tama Tonga's going on Twitter? Cause like he's already been kind of rough on Twitter to different people, but I don't know, ever since the whole like won't they of the Elite leaving for WWE, he's gone fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Scotty, I think I figured out a way for you to ingratiate yourself and like do a thing. I need you to make a Bullet Club not rip-off shirt, but like a homage shirt with one gun and then one Jay White like switchblade blade, and have it say bullets at the top and then blades at the bottom.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say have the words knife pervert across the top of it.
And just be like, yeah. The Bullet Club is now about bullets and blades. Like, just tweet that at them. Because I think that would actually get over with Tama and the knife pervert. So you need to...
He's just like, it needs more knives. You start throwing shit tons of knives on it. He's like, oh, thank God. It needed at least 50 more knives before I would accept it.
Oh God! If it doesn't look like the inventory of a Ninja Gaiden game just shit on my floor, then it's not worth it.
I love that he also apparently doesn't know how to spell Adam Page's name, Tama, because he just put Adam Paige coming out with his last hashtag Bullet Club affiliated shirt. Ha! Who the fuck were you before then? Exactly. Good luck in WWE.
The great irony of this is, I think it's more likely that the OGs go to WWE than the Elite.
Yeah. I
really do. Like, I know they're all just like, yeah, we're going to, but like, Tama Tonga is essentially made for NXT.
My problem with that is Tama loves the word fuck too much to ever be put on anything WWE related.
He would listen, so did Adam Cole.
Yeah. Adam Cole would go into a ring. I like to think during any Undisputed Era match, he's just struggling consistently to not tell his opponent to suck his dick. Like, he's just like, hey, Ricochet.
Listen, I'm waiting. I'm still waiting for the time where he pulls the old Adam Cole move of telling the crowd to get out of the way, faking throwing his opponent into the crowd, throwing them back into the ring, and then like popping the bird at them. Classic fat ass Adam Cole move.
I'm trying so hard not to get worked by this angle because I feel like it's trying to just. I don't know.
Are you
like
talking about the Bullet Club, final Bullet Club shirt?
Yeah.
Things?
Well, going
that's
back
because
to
they're gonna drop the Bullet Club from them. They're just gonna be the Elite. They're gonna let like that happen.
Yeah.
I mean, that was what they like. Even back when the Elite started, like the Bucks and Kenny were like, yeah, we wanted to just break off, but it was too much merch money for the company to let us go.
The OG Bullet Club shirt is still like one of, if not the best, like selling indie merch shirt. Maybe even the best selling wrestling shirt.
Well, listen, it is so cultural that it has reached NWO levels where like people wear it and then they don't know what it's about. They're just like, oh, this is cool and people are wearing it. Like, that hasn't happened since the 90s.
Yeah. See, what I've heard a lot about the whole final Bullet Club shirt thing is not we're going to WWE, which is still a possibility, or Cody's been tweeting a lot about everyone running, like, wrestlers are the most, like, determined and whatever in the world, and the people running the wrestlers are the dumbest fucks in the world, basically. So I'm thinking Cody may start like either his own promotion or something to help wrestlers band together. But the reason for the final...
he could also just start a union.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the whole thing with the final Bullet Club shirt design thing, from what I've read, is, well, everything that's Bullet Club parody or Bullet Club involved, a percentage has to go to New Japan.
Yep.
So if you don't do that, you get to keep all the money. And I don't know if you know Nick and Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks, but they like money quite a fair bit, my boy.
I mean, they got Bucks in their name.
They're also the carniest people to ever work in the business.
Yeah.
But they're such nice people that like no one really they're good Christian boys. So no one really minds.
I mean, yeah, I don't think the carny ever leaves you, because I'm still determined that Colt Cabana, despite having, well, probably less money now, but plenty of money, he's still at a hotel will, like, steal toilet rolls and shampoo bottles to save money. Like,
he will, on his podcast, continually talk about how much he likes to pinch his pennies.
Oh, yeah.
Which...
Like, don't.
By the way, Blake, I'm really proud of you for not making a Jewish crack there. I could see it on your face.
He was trying.
Oh no, I was telling you not to.
you were just
I don't have to. Cole Cabana does it on his own.
He does it on his own. He is the what was the championship he won earlier?
The North
this
American
year?
Hebrew Championship or something.
Oh, he leans
that he
into
beat
it.
David Starr for.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
That was his opponent.
There was so much Jewishness in that match.
Now, Blake, you're talking about getting worked by Bullet Club. There's a different man who's worked me, but it might be a shoot, so he may just be a douchebag, and that's Austin Aries.
No, I think Austin Aries is he just needs to eat that cheeseburger and fuck off.
He does. Yeah, like, because everything that I see of him, it's almost like he's, you know, that one asshole who thinks everybody else around him is an asshole because they don't understand that they're being an asshole?
Yeah.
That's Austin Aries.
All it can make me think of is the Stephen Lynch song about assholes, and the very end he's like, I looked in the mirror, and this is what I thought. The guy who sold me this mirror is an asshole! He's an asshole! Son of a bitch said it was antique. That's Austin Aries. But yeah, my favorite thing in the world is going to non-wrestling fans and reenacting the ending of that match. So just laying down on the ground and being like, and then he got pinned, and then this happened. Whoop! Stand up, fuck you, and then leave.
Never has what did Don Callis said? Never has so much talent been wasted on somebody so unprofessional.
Oh yeah. My favorite was still like Johnny Impact being like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Now I have to try to like pretend that you aren't an asshole, and that. By the way, Meltzer buried the shit out of that happening. On his
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
he was just like. He was like, nobody saw that show. Like there's other stories that happened.
See,
Like a former world champion no selling and like basically pulling a Hulk Hogan versus Jeff Jarrett at like whatever like Bash at the Beach Starcade that was
yeah.
doesn't even register anymore.
See, with me, like, a lot of people are like, is it a work? Is it a shoot? I'm like, I'm more comfortable knowing it's a shoot than if it was a work. Because that's like end of the WCW era levels of bullshit. Of just like, we're gonna play with the levels of kayfabe and make everyone think Austin's an asshole. And I'm like, I'd rather just believe he's an asshole rather than you bury the fucking product on your television, y'all motherfuckers.
Hey, whoa, dude, bro, hey, listen. I think, bro, dude, that was just the best way we could end that show, bro. Except I'm not supposed to be on it.
Yeah.
It really felt like it was peak TNA.
Yes.
That ending, and if it was a work, that's what it is. If it's a shoot, then Austin Aries is an asshole, and I can get on with my life resting easier.
It makes me feel bad because TNA was starting a very long upward hill climb that they were going pretty high up. They weren't close to the peak, but they were like halfway up the mountain, and then Austin Aries just punched them in the face and they tumbled down back.
But I like how at this point, being an asshole to the product is now a match transferable disease. Because Alberto Del Rio was a bitch to the product back during WrestleMania, where he was like at the press conference. He was at the press conference that day and then no-showed the show later that day.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Austin was in that match, and then he didn't do it. So then it got passed on to Austin Aries. And then Austin Aries was like, "Well, let me no sell the fucking like finish of the match, get up and flip people off on my way out." So now I look forward to when like Johnny Impact goes into business for himself in the middle of a match and like just legit low blows somebody in fast counts to win a championship, and then talks about how he actually owns it and that Mr. Booker Man can't keep him down.
And then he parkours out of the arena. He like jumps over one of the guardrails, climbs up some shit.
By the way, I want Johnny Impact to exclusively enter the ring to "I'm a Survivor."
Yes, I can see that. But yeah, Alberto Del Rio, or the man who I'm now dubbing the Donald Trump of Mexico, because anything he writes is starting to feel too much. Like, you saw the Instagram post, right?
No, I much like Paige, ignore Alberto Del Rio.
Yes, I'm taking a page from her book.
Fuck you. Yeah, it was just Alberto posting a picture of him with some people, and then he's got a very lovely woman next to him. And someone just in the comments is like, "Hey, she looks fucking hotter than Paige, man." And then he replies, which is something that he shouldn't have done.
Oh, I did read this. Fuck that guy.
This was weeks ago.
Well, no, Paige is updated. The Paige has responded, so that's why I brought it up this week. Because we had that solid, 6 weeks of Paige Del Rio coverage that I was afraid to go back to the well until the whole story was complete. Yes, and this one doesn't have more than 9 police reports against her, or 3 arrests in different states, or committed in 2 mental hospitals like the one you mentioned did. And with real evidence, not just lies from her loser brother, in all caps. Which is you could put that on Trump's fucking Twitter account and I'd be like, that makes sense.
Yeah, all you'd have to be is like, well, I wonder which one that one's referencing out of the thousands of people that it could mean.
Stormy Daniels. But yeah, Paige finally responds, and she was like, "Yeah, it upset me, but I wasn't gonna let him know that it upset me." But he did.
But he is 41 and should move on with his life.
Right? She's done a much better job of moving on from, like, his bullshit than he apparently is doing with her.
Listen, wrestling promotions in 3 countries don't hate Paige. Alberto Del Rio can't say that.
And Paige was just like, "Don't make fun of someone who has mental health issues, dude," because he knew how depressed I was. I wanted to kill myself. You don't talk about a woman like that. Keep your mouth shut. If you don't like me, that's fine. Haven't had any contact for over a year. It just baffles me.
Rio is actually petitioning to have him remove the Del Rio from his name.
Well, I mean, it is Patron now, but actually, wait, I'm getting news. Alcohol company Patron is petitioning to get the name Patron removed from his name as well.
It's going to be Alberto El Asshole now.
No, actually, Patron is just changing its name. They're saying, yeah, it's too tainted.
No, actually, I'm getting news from the 12th letter of the alphabet. That's right, they're petitioning to get the L removed from his name as well.
The most impressive part of that being that you knew that L was the 12th letter off the top of your head.
Well, if you slow down the video, you could see me as Blake was talking or some shit, just being like, FGHIJKL. Okay, 12. Okay, we're good. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, dude. Alberto, he's as old as John Cena, and at that point, you have to try to be, that's your benchmark, Del Rio. Act like John Cena. So set up a weird fucking Instagram account and then tweet inspirational messages to people.
And then star in movies that you're not great in, and then also be on Jimmy Fallon way more than people are comfortable with.
Yeah. So, like Rhett and Link as well. They've taken from the John Cena handbook.
Yeah.
Someone pointed it out earlier. I don't know what's happened to John in the past year, other than the Nikki breakup, but he, like Obama in office, looks like he's aged 50 years in the past 1 year.
Just because he grew his hair out.
He grew his hair out.
He like longer hair just makes him look old.
Well, it's the hair, it's like his face is also a bit more wrinkled, but like he do look older.
Yeah, like him growing his hair out to like his ruthless aggression hair length is just weird because it really does make him look older. It's like I can now compare him to when he was younger in the industry.
Well, no, this is
beyond. I need him to grow a beard now and start wearing like trunks.
Like
and I just
Dexter.
I need him to go like full heel turn, but only in the fact that he just stops wearing jorts, grows a beard, and does all the same things, but instead of like being nice to children, he just makes the wanking off motion.
I do want him to just be Mountain Man John.
So what you were suggesting is season finale of Dexter John Cena, where he's just like, I've been off in, they said I was in China, but actually I was up in Canada with Brock Lesnar hunting moose. We didn't use guns, we used our bare hands.
You could tell me Brock Lesnar hunted things like that and I would believe you.
Yeah.
Not moose, because moose are fucking horrifying.
They are huge as hell. Now, if you got Cena and Brock together, that's probably how they would take down a moose.
They're a tag team. The moose.
If we each take an antler, we can rip its skull in half.
God.
Actually, yeah. Cena stuns it with his horrible punch.
Hold on. Let me charge up my punch first.
That's why he grew his hair out, so he could actually charge his energy with it.
Yeah. People of the arena, give me your energy.
I want you to know, if you ever go to a house show and John Cena's there, he'll do that. Watch. He'll make the motion to the crowd, and then he'll like just DBZ. He just.
I believe that 100%.
Oh, but you know what?
And I believe 100% that he's doing it because of the DBZ reference.
Oh yeah, but you know what I believe?
Do you believe in a thing called love? You can feel it in the...
But I also believe that there's some awesome...
In the darkness? You believe in the darkness?
From the darkness. I believe that there's amazing merch to be found at merch.aloadofpurebs.com. That's right, that's where you can get merch for Fight Boys, A Load of BS, Fun Fiction. All your favorite programs has merch, including Blake, model it, Blake. The BS Boozy Sippy Cup for alcoholics like me and you. And then,
I mean, other things that aren't alcohol, but really it's for alcohol.
I mean, it's advertised as like a miniature wine glass, so...
There ain't nothing miniature about this. This is a wine glass.
That's right. You can get that, and you can get merch for all your favorite JWF superstars, from the Dylan to the Hammerman, Canada Charlie, Blake Tanner, Captain Tibbs, Guy Fieri. They all got merch over at merch.aloadofpurebs.com. And speaking of the JWF boys, it's time to go over to everyone's favorite commentators, Silver Spoon and Captain Tibbs, for another episode of JWF Monday Night War. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to JWF Monday Night War. I'm your host, Silver Spoon, joined as always by the man who's fucked 1,000 bears. It's Captain Tibbs.
I think you've used that one before. No less true, but just letting you know you're slipping.
Just for people tuning in for the first time, I want them to know about the man who fucks bears, Captain Tibbs.
You gotta cycle them in every now and again, just to let them know what I'm all about.
That's right, Tibbs, and we are firmly on the way to the Oops All Dudes pay-per-view, the JWF's exclusive all-male pay-per-view, which of course is going to feature the finals of the King of the Steel City Tournament. And Tibbs, right now we're going to determine one of the men that are going to enter that final as Canada Charlie, a man you know all too well, takes on the Hammerman.
Oh, my boy!
Okay, I see a little bit of difference in the oh my boys there, so I guess if I had to ask, you had a preference in this match, Tibbs.
To Silver Spoon, how could you? I'm an impartial mediator, and oh my god, there's a Hammerman!
That's right, it looks like Charlie and Hammerman beginning with a big lockup in the middle of the ring, but oh, looks like you might have been right. The Hammerman immediately overpowering Charlie, backing him up into a corner, and a huge chop to the chest of Charlie. Tibbs, I heard that all the way over here.
Oh, now Sills, I love my son. I don't love some of the choices he's made, but I think if there's anyone who can teach him a lesson, it's the Hammerman.
That's right, Charlie just grabbing at his chest in pain as the Hammerman bounces off the ropes, trying to land a big lariato. Oh, but Charlie ducks, rolling to the outside. I don't know, I think the Canadian one looks a little bit afraid.
Is he the Canadian one now?
Canada Charlie. He would assumedly be the Canadian one.
But is he the one from Canada?
I don't know, Tibbs. I think that's something that needs to be earned. I think you're right. Oh, but wait a minute. If anyone's earning anything, it looks like Hammerman's trying to earn his spot in the finals of the King of the Steel City Tournament as he bounces off the ropes, lands a huge tope suicida over the top rope, landing on Canada Charlie, rolls him into the ring, goes for a quick pin, 1, 2, ooh, and a kick out at 2. Now, of course, Tibbs, usually in a match like this with Charlie, we'd see his mentor, man, I know you're not too happy with Felix Ball get involved at this point, but of course, Felix is not here this week after Charlie basically ordered him to stay home last week. I mean, how did you react to that?
You know, I didn't even notice until I realized that the huge daunting weight of that massive black hole of a man wasn't sitting heavily on my shoulders tonight.
That's right, and let me tell you something. I think Felix Ball's at home, and he is looking nervous watching this match as Hammerman's trying to get Charlie up in a headlock. Oh, but wait! Charlie making his way back up to his feet, reversing that headlock. And oh, got him locked underneath. Looks like he's going for a Canadian DDT, but wait! Hammerman reversing it himself with a beautiful bridging suplex, going for another pin. 1, 2, ooh, Charlie barely putting his foot on the rope, getting the rope break. Unfortunately, had forced Shibata to call. Hammerman looking upset. I think he thought he had that match won, Tibbs.
Now, you see this? I hope you're listening to me, Ball. This is what your teaching does. This is what it does. It leaves my boy, leaves him in the middle of the ring. He's helpless. I hate you, Ball.
Well, and it looks like the situation's actually getting worse as Hammerman picks up Charlie, draping him over his shoulders, and a huge burning hammer dropping Canada Charlie onto that cranium of his. And now it looks like Hammerman actually climbing to the top rope, ready to cement his spot in the finals of the King of the Steel City tournament with his big patented hammer leg drop. Oh no, wait, Tibbs, is that? Oh no, it is. It's the music of Griffin Clouds, Hammerman's perennial rival, Griffin Clouds. He's emerged, and unfortunately, it looks like it's distracting the Hammerman, Tibbs.
Nah, damn it.
That's right, taking his eye off the prize, which has unfortunately allowed for Charlie to bounce off the ropes, and in a huge avalanche spine buster on the Hammerman. Griffin continuing that menacing walk down to the ring as Charlie pulling up Hammerman for a Canadian DDT, and oh! Nailing it, dropping him right onto his skull, going for the pin. 1, 2, 3. And Tibbs, it looks like we have found out one of the men who are going to be in the finals of the King of the Steel City tournament, and it's going to be none other than your boy, Canada Charlie. But it looks like the Hammerman doesn't look good.
But at what cost? At what cost, Silves?
That's right, Canada Charlie moving on. But oh wait, looks like he's actually moving out right now. Moving out of the ring, that is, as Griffin Cloud's climbing into the ring. And oh my god, he's attacking the Hammerman. We need to get security out of here.
Not the Hammerman!
That's right, Griffin Cloud still assaulting the man who, of course, may secretly under that mask be his brother, Travis Clouds. But of course, there is no evidence as of right now. Oh no, but he's got him up, Tibbs. He's got him up for it, and it looks like it's the return. The return of the most vicious move in JWF history. Oh, and there it is. The Undervapor. Dropping Hammerman onto that cranium, and Tibbs, Hammerman's not moving.
I gotta go help him.
That's right, let's get the medical staff out here. Medical staff coming out to ringside to help out the Hammerman. Meanwhile, Griffin Clouds, that dastardly man, just looks like he's smiling and proud of the work he's done today. Tibbs, this is awful.
I can't believe you've done this, Clouds. Not to my boy. Not one of my boys, I guess.
That's right. Well,
you know what I mean.
Well, speaking of your boys, I do want to talk about your other boy, Canada Charlie, the man who we just found out is headed to the finals of the King of the Steel City tournament. But in order to find out who's going to join him, people are going to have to tune in next week to see a match between two of the greatest superstars in JWF history, Guy Fieri, and a man who is the current JWF Captain's Champion, the Dylan. Those two facing off next week. I mean, Tibbs, who have you got in that match?
Ooh, this is gonna be a real slam dunker of a match, Silv. I don't know if I could pick any of these two men. They're horrible, and they're terribly wonderful, and I don't know.
Very good, Tibbs. And we've actually gonna hear from one of the combatants in that match right now. Let's go backstage where one of our top interviewers is there with the Dylan. Ladies and gentlemen, Don McDonald here with the JWF Captain's Champion, the Dylan. Now, Dylan, as we saw earlier tonight, Canada Charlie is going on to the Oops All Dudes pay-per-view to face the winner of you versus Guy Fieri next week. How do you react to the news?
How do I react to the news? McDonald's, do you know who I beat for this title? You know I beat Canada Charlie before. Took this title away from him, his father's real pride and joy. But, I do have to congratulate Charlie. You see, Charlie and Griffin Clouds did something historic tonight. They saved me the trouble of having to deal with the fucking Hammerman for another week. And now I've got clear sailing through the rest of this tournament, except for one obstacle, one potential iceberg in my Titanic path. See, that's Guy Fieri. Interesting man, Guy Fieri. Hard man to pin down. See, he looks like a one-hit joke, like a one-hit wonder, like a man that's all show and no go. In goatee hair, a few shitty restaurants. But you see, I've been watching Guy Fieri. I've been watching him try to make his way back to try to face brunch boy Baron Corbin, get his revenge, redeem himself for those months spent on the injury list. And see, as a man who's been highly motivated before. I know what that motivation can do for you. I give you that strength, you that focus. But see, I know it also gives you tunnel vision. And I know Guy doesn't know what that's like. He's focused on looking past me to Baron. He forgets I'm here. I'm the captain's champion. I am one of the cornerstones of not only this company, this whole goddamn industry. So Guy Fieri, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid it's going to be an end to your little quest next week when you find out that I am a conqueror of this company, that I'm not just the captain's champion. I'm not just the captain. I'm the king.
Well, Tibbs, it looks like Dylan, I mean, you seem very complimentary to Guy Fieri, something we honestly haven't seen from the Dylan in the past, but he seems determined to become the king of the Steel City. What do you think?
You know, he's got a point there, Sil. Guy Fieri, that's all he's been grumbling about, his final revenge on Brunch Boy Baron. Maybe even looking for a title shot. I don't know. When he comes into contact with the Dylan, he might not get what he's expecting.
That's right, but of course, let us not forget, last year, Fieri was in fact the victor of the King of the Steel City tournament. He could be looking at a back-to-back wins this year. But of course, after that, he would have to go on to face the JWF champion, whoever that may be. Of course, we do remember at last month's Heck in a Sec pay-per-view, after finishing a vicious fatal four-way match, Blake Tanner was cashed in on by none other than Brunch Boy Baron Corbin, our current champion, allowing Baron to steal the JWF title away and leave Blake Tanner titleless after such a long title reign. I mean, Tibbs, I know it shocked you.
It was definitely not something I was expecting, Sills. I thought Blake Tanner, he had much more in him. A longer title reign. Maybe even a one for the ages. Brunch Boy's cash in and his subsequent retention of the title. It's not something you'd expect.
That's right, and I know Blake Tanner certainly wasn't happy about it, and he's actually in our ring right now, and I think he's got a message for the Brunch Boy.
So, I finally got a chance to listen to what Brunch Boy Baron Corbin said about me last week. And I gotta say, I have never encountered a more delusional dude in my entire life. He has the nerve to come out here and talk about wrestlers that don't know when their time is up, saying that there are some that should have hung their boots up a long time ago. What? Dude, if you're talking about me, I'm in the prime of my wrestling years. If there's anyone who needs to be worried about hanging it up, it ain't me, Bruncharella. I admit, I've been taking it easy with my neck issues recently, and I was worried for a hot second that I wouldn't be able to do this for much longer. I've been going non-stop for well over a year at this point, and getting beaten black and blue every week, in and out, to the point that it was getting harder and harder to keep going. More mornings than I'd like to count, I've woken up almost unable to move because my muscles were so sore, because I was in too much pain. But I never let that stop me. After I lost my title, I didn't know if I could continue. But when I woke up one morning, I realized that the man that holds the JWF Championship, the man that represents this company as the best of the best, he ain't even a man at all. He's just a boy. A brunchy baby boy. He's not worthy of taking my place as champion. And until someone worthy of claiming Blake Tanner's rightful place at the top comes along, you need me. This company needs me to deliver them from pretenders and fakes like Brunch Boy Baron Corbin. Brunch Boy, who I might remind you, spends the majority of his time in this company at catering, eating brunch at odd hours that definitely aren't brunch time. While real champions are out here every night overcoming crippling pain and pushing themselves past the limit just to be the best role model that they can be. So no, brunchy Bella, I'm not going to be leaving anytime soon. But you're right. I am going to be hanging up my boots for a little while. I'm going to be hanging them up straight up your ass. I'm not gonna give you a moment's respite, Baron. I know what it means to be a champion. I know what it takes to hold on to that belt, and you most certainly do not, sir. So listen up, crab cakes. At the next pay-per-view, I'm gonna show you exactly what kind of champion I am. You might have got lucky when you cashed in on me. You might have got lucky that you caught me on an off night when my neck was hurting more than normal. But at Oops All Dudes, you're gonna see what a real champion is made of. You're gonna see why I held that title for so long, and why I defeated every challenger that crossed my path. You know, Baron, I've heard how vicious you can be. I've heard how you've hurt people, but let me tell you something. Scotty Moore is as vicious as they come. And the Dylan, he's hurt more people than I care to count. I've beaten them both. It really irks me when people think that they bring them up, that they talk about viciousness. I've thrown people through steel cages over 16 feet high. I've kicked men off the tops of production trucks. I have hurt more people in my reign as champion than you could ever hope to have served Brunch 2, Baron Corbin, and I don't regret a single thing that I did. You thought you were being clever when you made this a street fight, weren't you, Baron? Let me tell you, that was probably the dumbest decision you could ever make. See, now, when I hang your boots around your neck and strangle you with them so I can take my title back, it'll be 100% legal.
Well, Tibbs, I mean, it looks like Blake Tanner, this stealing of the title from Brunch Boy, it's awoken something dark in Blake Tanner, almost a vicious presence inside of him. How do you react to this?
I don't know. This is a fire that I haven't seen from him in a long time. He seems to be getting real worked up over Brunch Boy. I don't think sitting without the title is really sitting well with Blake Tanner right now.
That's right, Tibbs. You gotta think Blake Tanner, he held the title for longer than many people before him had it. He was on his way to having almost a record-breaking title reign, which unfortunately was cut short by Brunch Boy. You can't think what that does to a man's psyche.
No idea, Sills.
That's right, and so I guess in order to find out what happens next with Blake Tanner and Brunch Boy, in order to find out what happens next with Griffin Clouds and the Hammerman, and of course to find out who's going to make it to the finals of the JWF King of the Steel City Tournament, you're going to have to tune in next time to JWF Monday Night War. All right, boys, it's been an episode. What did you learn this week?
I learned that somewhere down the line, Becky Lynch and Beth Phoenix are going to have an Edge's Balls on a pole match.
I learned that while Chuck Taylor may never follow us, he'll still be the champion of my heart.
And I learned that Blake Tanner wants to strangle men with boots.
Says the man that wants to be smashed between two Samoan women.
Oh, it's the laces. You get them, you can garrote someone.
Yeah,
you choke
sure.
them.
Sure, and by next episode, Blake will have learned how to properly say garrote.
That's it, yeah. Fuck off.
So Dylan could be found on Twitter at SexyChuckyT. Blake, where can they find you?
You can find me at Blake A. Tanner on the Twitter. You can find me in probably the deepest, darkest depths of hell for the horrible things that I've done on this episode.
That's right. And you can find me on Twitter at SexyChuckyT as well. I'm also there.
All of us. We are Sexy Chucky T. We go to the next ROH show. He's like, look at us. We are Sexy Chucky T now.
We are the Sexy Chucky T. But you can find me on Twitter at ScottyMo. That's SCOTTYEMO. Buy all my books on Amazon. The Queensland Corp Trilogy, BS versus the Gods. All of that's available for you there. Or you can get them on Audible. Get a free 30-day trial at audibletrial.com/BS Network. So make sure to support us there, or support us on our Patreon page, patreon.com/aloadofbs, or on our merch store, merch.aloadofpurebs.com. So check that out. Check out all the other shows at aloadofpurebs.com. And of course, remember to rate, comment, subscribe, leave us a good review on iTunes, or after this episode, at least a decent one, maybe. Like, take whatever star rating you're gonna give us and add a star, maybe.
Half a star.
Just add a star. That was my favorite WWE anti-bullying campaign, add a star. And as always, you can find us at aloadofpurebs.com. Step up to the merch table at merch.aloadofpurebs.com. Find us on Facebook, donate to the Patreon, subscribe on YouTube, and remember to follow us on Twitter at Fight Boys Show, Chuck Taylor. Because when you're a fight boy for life!